Hey everybody, this is Rainbow Reviews. Today I'm reviewing a show on HBO Max called Lovecraft Country. Now I saw this while browsing through HBO Max a few days ago, and it looked really good. I saw that it was made by J.J. Abrams and Jordan Peele, and I'm a fan of both of their works, so I was really excited to check this out. And the story is like a really different story, and I'm going to recap it real quick. So the story is in 1954, Atticus Turner, a black man, is a veteran of the Korean War. He receives a mysterious letter from his father. Atticus, along with his friend Letitia and his uncle George, travel across Jim Crow territory to find his father. Things quickly escalate to a supernatural degree. Now this story really hooks me in. I love, you can tell Jordan Peele worked on this because it's got racial themes mixed with supernatural and monster horror. And I really like that newly forming genre, and I was really excited to see this. So, it's called Lovecraft Country, and that name Lovecraft might sound familiar to some of you. So, H.P. Lovecraft was a writer, and he wrote a lot of sci-fi novels and supernatural things. And the creators worked this into the show itself. That's where the supernatural aspects come in. And this show really outpours the racial tension. It is super high. And I've only watched the first episode. But the racial tension, it's really high, and that's the point. And it really comes across strongly. It really puts into perspective how racist most of the country was back then, especially in Jim Crow territory. The mix of racial tension and monster horror, in my opinion, they don't immediately mix seamlessly together in this episode, but I think if anyone could mix them together, it would be Jordan Peele himself. For those of you who have seen his other works, such as Get Out and Us, you know that he can mix those themes really well. And this episode, I don't think it does it very spectacularly, in my opinion. The monster stuff really comes out of nowhere, and it all happens in the last eighth of the episode. But I saw the teaser for the next episode at the end of this one, and it looks really good, and it looks like it's mixing a lot more supernatural stuff with the racial stuff a lot more and a lot more seamlessly. And so I think with him as the producer, or excuse me, co-producer, this series is just going to get better and better. Now, I did have one gripe with the episode, and that only gripe, as I just described, is that the supernatural stuff comes out of nowhere. I'm not going to spoil too much. This is going to be a generally spoiler-free review, but the monsters come out in the last eighth of this episode, and they don't have any foreshadowing, or if they did, I couldn't tell it was there. So what I would recommend to make this episode a little bit better, and again, I don't know anything about making a show, so take this all with a grain of salt, but I think it would have been better if they foreshadowed it a little bit more, and they did something like having some missing posters on telephone poles, or having scratch marks indented into trees or something. That would have really heightened the tension, and it would have been the payoff. It would have made the payoff way better, but still, that's a minor gripe. So, in general, I think this first episode is a great one. It really sets the groundwork well. The next episode looks like it will mix the racial elements with the horror elements a lot better, and I'm super excited for it to come out. It releases on HBO Max this Sunday the 23rd, and if the rest of the show is this good, it'll go in the A tier on my tier list. It's an awesome show. Really, you should check it out. I know I really went over the one gripe I had in this review, but really it's a super small complaint, and I think it's one of those things that if you watch this episode over and over, it'll just get better and better, and you'll notice a lot more, because not a lot of the story is immediately clear when you watch this. I had to go back a couple times and remember people's names and, figure out who's who, what they're trying to do, but once you get it and get into it, I think this is going to be a great show on HBO Max. So yeah, this was more of a short form review. I'm probably going to do reviews of individual episodes, and then maybe do a mega review or a big review at the end of the whole series. So let me know in the comments if you've seen Lovecraft Country and if you want me to review more episodes, because I will. So thanks for watching.